Hmm. It seems and appears that my Zoom got reset somehow, some way. Not gonna let's go around the room and introduce, please.
Hello, my name's Ashley Bazera. I'm a realtor in Phoenix, Arizona, and I'm learning all the methods of creative finance. I'm interested in multifamily value adds and land development.
Nice, thank you. Catherine, moderate the room while I try to get set up, please.
So Mel, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Sure. My name is Mel Giannoni. I'm a commercial real estate broker. I'm an advisor. I'm an investor, like most people here. I focus on commercial property only in the Greater Toronto area up here in Toronto, Canada. Currently, I am specializing and focused on senior living developments all throughout the province of Ontario.
Love it. Um, and then of course the famous Laura.
Wow, famous. Awesome. Uh, Hi, everyone. Morning, Ashley and Mel. My name is Laura Miller. I live in Richland, Washington, but currently sitting in Scottsdale, Arizona. Whoop, whoop. And I am a real estate investor, have been for, I don't know, 25 years. And I am passionate about creating generational wealth and generational legacy. And because I know now what I didn't know then, my now almost 26-year-old has two rental properties and never had a job in high school because his rental properties paid for his lifestyle inside of that. So he now does have a job. He's working at an accounting firm in Bellevue, Washington, but it still has his rental property. So I'm passionate about passing it on.
Love it.
I love
Super
that.
exciting. So as everybody knows, I'm Catherine Bell, the founder of Titan Impact Group, and I'm the sponsor for this podcast and finding deals, collapsing timelines, adding commas to bank accounts. And how do we do that? It's through deal sourcing and through analyzing and through AI, all the cool, nerdy things AI. We love that. So, we want everybody who's watching live streaming, we have an investor survey that we do that helps determine what particular type of investor you are in your asset class, your active income passive, your active income asset class, and then making sure that your active income goes and acquires assets to provide passive income, and that passive income then pays for your lifestyle. But your passive income needs to be in all the different asset classes so that your portfolio is diversified. But your active income, that's what the investor survey does, is helps determine what type of asset class that is that makes your heart sing. I know for me, it took me 20 years to figure out what type of investor I am, after going through all the asset classes. And then with that, you can use Deal Hunter AI to be able to um, uh, source the like find the deals and then that fit with your particular investor profile, and then more importantly underwrite them. And I think for me, like when I was running the flipping females, we flipped over 500 properties. Laura was a part of that. Like the significant amount of time was on underwriting and analyzing deals. And if we had had this deal hunter to be able to do that, oh my gosh, we would have done even more flips for sure, because it was a lot of time and energy. So yeah. And then of course the other one is free estimates, is the other one that would have saved us an enormous amount of time just in getting estimates on how much it was going to cost to actually do particular parts of the flip and stuff. So again, thanks to AI and all the fun things, we absolutely can collapse timelines to add commas to bank accounts. So very, very, very cool. And so I know, I don't know that there's anybody here that, or I don't know, that's not on the planet that doesn't know that AI, you can do all the things I don't think it's new anymore. I think people have at least heard of it. Now, whether they've used it or, uh, started dabbling in or full on diving into it, everybody's heard that yes, AI is a part of all the things, which is really interesting. So, anyway, kind of like when the World Wide Web came out. I was like, what is that? Why would I need a website? There's the Yellow Pages. Now it's like, I don't remember the last time I saw Yellow Pages.
I was at a doctor's office and they were using it to kind of hold the door open so that people could go in and out. I was thought that was interesting. So, but yeah, the program Deal Hunter by Landshark started over 2 years ago with me and my partner Roman Rubio and Dr. Ning Young Chan. We came up with Deal Hunter because we were doing real estate investing. However, we were not getting the results that we needed to because we weren't working as a team, and so when we worked together as a team on acquisitions and dispositions and doing due diligence and stuff like that, it became easier. But I have a science background, and I was like, let's see if we can get AI to do something different for us here. So, one of the things that we were able to actually discover inside of doing this podcast on a daily basis was the amount of deal flow that actually picked up. So, hold on a second. I got a deal flying right now.
Tina, wait, aren't you in where are you? Guatemala or something? Where are you?
Nicaragua.
Nicaragua. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, so I need to know, what are you doing in Nicaragua?
I have a home here.
Okay.
It's a
Why
it's a
Nicaragua?
well, back in 2022, it seemed like a great idea.
Got it. So we're in the middle of a pandemic.
Yeah.
So this was a pandemic. Okay, I can get that.
Yes.
And so,
Yeah,
but again,
no,
why Nicaragua? What is I know why people went to Puerto
yeah,
Rico. I know the people that went to Costa Rica. I'm just curious, genuinely curious. Educate
yeah.
us on why Nicaragua.
It actually started with a teak farm investment interest that took us to Panama in 21. And the company, the developer that was doing the teak is it's ECI Development. And I found out about them through like Russell Gray and some other real estate. I think they were called the real estate guys at the time. And it was just this, how during the pandemic you just start following some different people. And so I was really interested in looking at kind of what I would call uh, generational investment, and teak could have been that opportunity because it's a very low entry point to get in. It grows over 20 years. We were going to buy it for our boys, just a plot each for the boys. Panama, because of everything that was going on, we had a great time. We were over at this little, um, uh, it was a sanctuary for saving turtles.
Oh,
Anyway,
wow.
didn't turn out. We couldn't get there to see it. The next thing I know, they had the same company, this Mike Cobb, he was starting to promote the teak in Nicaragua. And so at the same time, he was also starting this concept of a tiny home off the grid little village on the ocean. And the projections for the rental income, or even if you just wanted to flip it, or just, you know, the concept of the community itself. It was gorgeous, everything that they put together. It's exchanged hands, I would say, from like who the architects were and the construction crews. And if anybody's invested internationally, especially in Central America, you know, it it's and knowing who to trust. And anyway, that's why we saw the plans for the tiny home. I just fell in love with it. And we were also thinking, okay, plan B, if we ever needed to, like, you know, just get away from everything for a while, we could come out here. We have a little property that's off the grid, and so that's what we did. And here we are. And now I'm back, and it is a cute little place. But the rental income just isn't there. This was a sleepy resort. I mean, before they started building out this community, he himself, that Mike Cobb, and his wife lived here for 14 years before they decided they wanted to develop this. And he's developing in Belize and Panama and I think El Salvador, and he's all over the place with these concepts. But you know, it looked better on paper than it's actually turned out to be. Let's just say that.
Got it.
The community, the few people that are here, it's just so quiet, you know, it's like they don't know how to promote it
Oh,
for over 20 years. And I just so happen to run into a guy from Iowa, of all places, who's
no
been here for
kidding.
20 years. Like he goes back and
No.
forth from Des Moines. He's a commodities broker, and his brother-in-law was involved in, you know, building the golf course. And but you know, I'm here to kind of network and figure out who I want to use to list it. We are going to list it. But there's a coastal Pacific highway that's coming from Costa Rica. It's already
Yeah.
here. It's gone from Costa Rica all the way through this town called Masachapa, which is about 40 minutes yet from here. It's supposed to come up and kind of go around Grand Pacifica, which is good. But the problem is the government has decided anybody that's on the coast, they're going to lock down titles. So
Oh,
the registration of your property is all locked down if you live on the coast, which is
oh
not
gosh.
preventing you from selling, but it's definitely putting, you know, a kink in it, because that makes people nervous if there's a problem with getting their property registered. And I still haven't gotten it registered in my name. So, and there's an HOA, and I just, you know, I had never dealt with HOAs before, even here in Nicaragua, because it's this resort and they think it's luxury, you know. I don't know if they've ever been to a real luxury resort in the US to be able to compare it, but you know, so we're running into some issues with just registration. So I don't know, we'll see. I found a guy
Huh.
here who I'm feeling him out. But for example, everybody that I've gone to, their commission on the real estate is 7%. And they want you to lock in for a year, and they have all these
Oh, wow.
restrictions. And you know, so I don't know. I was thinking if there was a way, you know, because you have to be a registered agent here in Nicaragua to sell the property. Even if I were to bring investors here that want to buy it, I think there's still a significant cut that they get,
Right.
because you know, there's a possibility that maybe they saw his posting. Now, I will say, out of everybody that I've met so far, he does seem to be engaged with social media. He's posting on TikTok, he's posting on, you know, all of the social media platforms. He's out here taking pictures and staging. And so, and he's right here, which is nice, because you do need somebody that can come and walk people through the properties.
Right.
And he would rent it for me too if I wanted that. And now I'm trying to debate is the best use of my time to try and get out on Facebook Marketplace. And, you know, I suppose if I got something automated and in place, it would be easier. But yeah, so that's why I'm here. Sorry to take up all your time there, but
No, no, no. This is,
I'm
yeah, this is
enjoying myself.
interesting.
It's yeah. So that's That's Nicaragua. If anybody ever wants to come to Nicaragua, let me know. It is pretty. I'm about maybe depending on which way you go to the beach, long way, about 400 steps from the beach.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm looking at the map. And are you on the East Coast or the West Coast?
So I'm on the Pacific Ocean
Okay.
side, and it's called Grand Pacifica. If you type in Grand Pacifica, so we're on the same side as like San Juan del Sur, which is the real popular. It's been around for years. It's more of like a little party community. I've never been there, but it's big with the surfers and the backpackers,
I found you.
and they do have some. Yeah, that's me.
Look at you.
Yep.
You're near San Diego.
San Diego. Yes. San Diego,
It says
Nicaragua.
San Diego. Yeah.
Yeah, there is a little community called San Diego. Yes.
That's hilarious. Wow.
So that's
Well,
what
how
I'm
very
doing. I'm
cool.
just trying. Yeah, I'm just trying to and I had somebody that wanted to run it. This seems to happen every time I get ready to come out here. Somebody finds it on Airbnb without me, like I said, I'm not actively posting it. But I was monitoring the solar because, like I said, mine is completely off the grid. I have a solar system, and that's what runs all of my electric, including my AC. And I was just noticing it was like discharging complete by 11 o'clock in the evening. And I didn't want somebody coming out and having not just their AC go off in this heat, but also the refrigerator and all their electricity and their Wi-Fi and everything. So, so I've had the panels cleaned, and the system has been tuned and cleaned, and the units, and it seems to be fine. So I think I just need to remind people it is a solar system. It is off the grid. And so instead of cranking it down to like 60 all night long, you need to keep it up, keep it cool during the day. Everything cools off at night anyway. And, so just make sure I have some not that everybody follows those anyway, but just repeatedly before they come out, let them know, listen, it is off the grid. So there were other little things with, a lot of the systems were very undersized, and so they ended up coming through, and for another $3,000 you could connect to the grid, but I feel like it goes down all the time, their main electric grid. So anyway, that's my goal, Catherine. I'm getting ready to list this and figure out the best way to do that and get it rented regularly, so at least it can kind of pay for itself. And there
That's
I am. I'm here
amazing.
until the 28th, by the way.
Okay, so
I get
10
home
more
late
days.
on the 28th. So I'm going to try and jump in on the calls.
Love it. Well, very cool. Maybe you can take us for a visual tour. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love that.
All right.
Well, cool. So it looks like Tommy was doing something.
Yeah, I'm waiting to run deals. Like we got to do 3 deals a day to make
Oh,
this a successful
sorry, Tommy.
podcast. So trying to stay on top of that stuff. Let us know when you want to run that deal. Tina will put it in and plug it in and get her done. Still waiting to see if you want to do Boone as well. So
Oh, yeah, actually I do want to do Boone.
yeah.
I mean, as far as like the renovation side of it, yes.
However you want to
That would
do it,
be-
we can help you out with the deal hunter and the free estimates. And get it figured out with you for sure.
Why don't you, I'll get everything put together and organized better so that we can just
Yeah,
drop
when
it
you
right
get back
in.
to your place and you can share your screen
Yeah.
and you're on a computer, we can run it with you and work it with you and stuff like that. That'd be awesome.
Absolutely. I do have one I'm looking at. You have deals already today though, don't you, Tommy?
Say again?
You have all your deals that you need for today, right?
No, I mean I got a couple that I can run, but I'm always looking for other people to bring their deals in and let's run those because um I'm always trying to, promote people getting, engaged with using it and how to use it, stuff like that.
So
So
somebody sent me a deal for an RV park. It's a little, I mean, they're not raising a lot of funds on it. It's kind of a tight knit, But I do have all of I don't even know if I have the address though, so I need to see if I can use that. I do have all of the numbers, but I think the address, it's in South Carolina. It's an RV park.
I think we actually looked at something for you in South Carolina. Have you looked
It's
at
not
this
that one.
in the recent past?
Yeah,
No?
it's not that one. This one's a private. That one was coming from, I think, a company that kind of flips turnkey resorts, the RV parks. This one is actually a private party that came to me from one of the network groups here. She reached out to me directly. She's invested with him, I don't know, 5 or 6 times. Her son invests, and he just usually brings in like 6 investors. So let me see and I'm looking at that one right now. I'll tell you what I keep coming back to, Tommy, though, from me as an investor, what I'm really trying to get my mind around, and Catherine knows this too, even with Cortez, is for anyone who's coming in with a self-directed IRA. Solo 401k still have their own little issues, but I'm trying to understand how I'm impacted if I invest with a self-directed IRA, which is where I had to move a lot of my money recently. So at some point, maybe we can touch on that because
Yeah,
I
let's
don't
take a
know
look
that
at that
everybody,
offline for sure. Schedule a time.
yeah,
Catherine can send you the Catherine can send you the info to book a call with me, and we can definitely jump into it.
yeah. And I've been reading up on it too, and I've got a better grasp of it now, but that's huge for me when I evaluate deals now where I go as a passive investor, how that pans out. Let me take a look at this, what they sent me and see what I have out there.
Yeah,
Because I
for sure.
know, I don't think on the spreadsheet it included the property address because of they haven't actually purchased it yet, but they're getting close. So like NDA type of stuff.
Right.
Let me take a look.
Uh,
Let's plan maybe, I should be able, I mean, I can get online here. I have Wi-Fi, so maybe Friday we can
Yeah.
take a look at it.
Catherine, do you mind sending her that link for the calendar link? We got to get it fixed too, by the way. It still shows up as a Google Meet, but down the list it shows a Zoom call. So I'm confused by that. It's
Oh.
weird. But if you go and make
Well,
an
you know,
appointment
if you're
with me,
doing it through Google, if it's an invite through Google, it by default tries to do a Google Meet.
and that's what it's doing. But if you scroll down further, it
Yeah.
actually says, "Here's the Zoom call link." So
Yes,
there's actually a Zoom call
yes.
link in there.
That's just
So,
a default thing with Google, though, I think,
yeah,
calendar.
I gotta figure out how to
You
notify
have to
people when
turn
they
that
make that
off.
appointment.
You can turn that off, that
Yeah.
Google Meet thing. You can
Yeah, you can
deselect it
turn
from
that
your
off.
settings.
Yeah. I'll have to hire somebody to tell me how to do it. So anyway, what we did do though, Tina, since last time you were on maybe was, we were showing people how we're integrating, we've got the traditional deal hunter right here, deal hunter's been great for us for 2 years doing this. But now I've got people saying, well, what kind of numbers are you seeing? This is our live audit since just May. So like the last quarter, if you will. And in the last 4 months, we've run 107 deals. We've had 59 of these podcasts, 60, almost 60 podcasts. We've closed one deal out of 107. And the reason why is because like people are like, well, if you look at 107 deals, why are you only closing one? Because that's how much dog shit's out there. I'm not saying that every deal is dog shit. I'm just saying it doesn't meet the buy box. It doesn't meet criteria. It doesn't get the documents. We had a meeting yesterday with a guy who's wanting to build a resort, and his total, like in his mind, his total investment is like going to be like $700,000. And I'm like, you put the word resort after somebody, and you don't make it over $1 million, like that's a red flag, right? You wanna build a resort, but you want it on a campground budget. That's not gonna work. Anyway, that's what we gotta do this is why we invented Deal Hunter, and I was talking about this before the message. Was we came up with a faster, better, quicker way of analyzing deals, which then gives us the opportunity to get through them and move through them quickly, right? And so we built this, I built this dashboard right here that's based on just the deals we run in here, not even run offline. Like these are just deal room deals, right? And this is the value that coming to the podcast brings people is you're going to get exposure to a lot of deals and you're going to be able to see the ones that are not worth it. Now we got 4 of them that are fully rejected and we've had 18 of them drop off because people come in, they introduce the deal and then they disappear. Like we had one that happened to, and she had a massive like trauma in her family occur, you know. And so that had to be dealt with, understandable. But other people, they're like, oh, is this a good deal? I don't know. We start running it and they're like, oh, well, I'm down board. They're like, they just don't do anything with it. They're just kind of like shopping, if you will, right? So Ashley's not a shopper. Ashley's on here. And Ashley brought this multifamily land deal. You want to add any updates to this? What I'm trying to do is build this out so that we can make updates to this during the show. And then as deals get done, we'll be able to change these, numbers up on top. Everything is listed. Like I said, these are the top 10 priorities, but we've got stuff listed from May all the way through, and there's just different deals in here. So investors can even come here and look through and be like, oh, I like winery property. What's going on with that? Let me call Tommy and get it. Let's get an update on that. Or Paradise Valley Home. Somebody might want to look into that deal, right? Somebody sees this Cortez. They're like, hey, what's going on with that? RV park, 300 lot affordable housing. Like this one fell apart literally because, the guy that showed this to me, he's like, I told him to send all the details to my accomplice, and Land Shark member. I said, send all these over to him. He never did it. And he's like, oh, the reason why I didn't do it was because he's just like me. He's not going to be able to afford it. I was like, what? So the guy that had 300 lots fell off because he's assuming like because I told him to show it to my guy that like I was just passing the buck or something. And the deal's off the table. Like the guy's not interested in working with us because I told him to go show it to somebody else. And the guy he was going to show it to was basically going to do due diligence. These are, by the way, let me preface, these are tax deed auctions. And so inside of the tax deed auction, they can buy these properties. And so some of them have issues with the titles and they're not even worth buying. So that's what I was getting cleared up. And the guy just said, no, not interested. So moving through this though, we've got a lot of deals that can be picked back up. A lot of, there's a lot of, opportunity inside of doing these. Everything from the pickleball facility to the custom home lots out there on North Church Road. It's got a landlocked issue we can probably fix, but adding stuff to this to get it figured out, and get all of these figured out, we can again start keeping track of the people that showed up. Like these are all the people that come in. Tina, you're on this list pretty good, 22 times. So you got a good record coming in here. So, but it also keeps track of, who's consistent, who's not. And so the ones that are not consistent are not going to get any attention moving forward. Like we're not going to keep paying attention to people that just come in and ghost, and show up when they need to, whatever. So, over to running some deals now. That's our dashboard. We're going to be updating that. Ran this deal last night. It's on a Scottsdale fix and flip property. I pulled the details on it, and what it presented was that it looks like a big fancy house from the outside. I'm like, yeah, it's gorgeous. The issue comes in. You'll see it when we go look at the map, the overview. Again, built in the early 2000s, and I can tell because of these multiple layer trade ceilings. That's a common design feature. The tall ceilings and the tall cabinets, all these are, 10-foot plus ceilings. So,
Tommy, I was just looking at this deal. I was about to, if you wanted me to present one, this was going to be it. That's hilarious.
yeah, right. Well,
It
it just shows the market's low, right?
it
Like
said something about it potentially having a water issue, like
definitely has
being
water,
able to
the
get
well dried
water.
up. Yeah, the well dried up. So, this is out in what's called Rio Verde. And so it's potential horse property, all that stuff in here. Let me pull the map so you can see it now. I'm gonna do a satellite view. Satellite view. Come on. There we go. So satellite view shows that it's got a road in behind it and a road down here. But if you look, you can't get into it unless you come down, around, and up and in. So the access to it is no bueno. Like it's got crappy access, if you will. That and it's on washboard roads. These are called, if you don't know, these are called washboard roads. Meaning that when you drive down them, your vehicle feels like you're driving down a washboard because it's going like that the whole time till you get home. Okay. And so you're gonna be driving down some dirt roads for a minute to get there. If I back out until I find hardtop. Hardtop, I believe, is down here off of 156th. There's blacktop somewhere around here, right here. 152nd, it ends right there. Boom. So you gotta go up all the way to Windstone. It's over a mile. So you got about a mile of washboard, half mile. So, and again, that being said, that the reason why, people, so you got this guy right here, his home value is gonna go up and be worth at least 400, 500,000 more. These houses right here, because they're sitting on blacktop. You come over here and the price goes down because they're sitting on dirt road. We're talking about the road. That's it. This guy here, 3.2 million. This is the entire estate. Like this whole big area. This whole thing is 3.2 million. So literally right across the street, 3.2 million for that big box, or 2.5 million for that little box with a big house. 2.8 million for a little box with a big house. Make sense? Are you seeing how values determine now on stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Pull that up. I got a call coming in. Hold on. Good morning. Catherine, can you talk a little bit?
So one of the things that I'm loving inside of the using AI, Ashley, I don't know if you were seeing, is the ability to take I'm still figuring it out. I think it's called Claude Code, and I think GPT has it as well. But literally, like Tommy's been playing around with, having a whole conversation and then creating this whole dashboard of being able to track all the deals and all the things and where each one is so that we can keep all the balls moving forward. So I know you as a realtor with all of your leads, your customer leads, the deals that you have coming in, like that might be something cool
Yeah,
to,
I love the dashboard. I'm interested.
yeah, really fascinating stuff. So it looks, Tommy, are you back?
Yeah, I'm back. So um that was a guy from the sub 2 group we go to on Friday nights. over at Eddie Marin's Friday Night Lights or whatever it is. I don't know what he calls it. But this guy, I'm sending him a link right now to come on the podcast. And we'll go from there. Anyway, yeah, so this deal here, it shows that it's about $195 a square foot, right? And so we could do some fix and flip to it and maybe get it up to this $1 million mark. But we have to keep in mind that the tough part is going to be the fact that it doesn't have a road, right? And look at this. This is one that's right there. It sold in July. Sold in July for under $1 million. It's off that road, but it's a lot closer to Blacktop than that one, I believe. But look at these views. Look at the like this is completely updated. This is fully remodeled, right? And so with it fully remodeled and staged like this is gorgeous. And so this is gonna get, you know, under $1 million for this versus the other place. It's like, well, why? What makes it different? And so let's take a look. Maybe it's the size of the lot. No, they got a 1 acre lot. They're off a hardtop. Like this is a good buy. This is a good deal. So I mean, it's not a super attractive house like the other one with the big fancy parapet. The backyard's kind of limited because of all the, all the stuff out there, but you could spend a little bit of money and get your yard back, and you could make all this grass if you wanted to, So, but this is in a choice area, so it's crazy this sold for that 975 price range. Putting it at like 365 a square foot makes sense. It's a smaller unit. The other one was bigger. So house-wise, it's got good flip economics to it, meaning like if we put some money into it, what could we get out of it? I like to be above the 20% range on a flip. Most of my buy box is 40% because I'm doing deals with people and I'm giving them 20%. But for me, doing these, they're better when the economics are better when the percentage of difference is wider, your ARV to your sale price. So anyway, one of the concerns again was that well issue, and it's on a shared well, and the well is probably dry. So they're going to need to dig it deeper, and that's going to cost money. It's $1,000 a foot. That could be the issue too. Shared well, septic, pool. And the wide valuation dispersion, meaning like recent 3,000 to 3,600 square foot properties on an acre are selling for below the 1 million. So that being, that being said, you're buying it for 600. So this thing's got a price over $1 million in order for it to make sense. So I'd come in on this thing at like 575. So the other reason is because I could probably do a bit of a better rehab on it if I paid less for it. And expand on the square footage, maybe take it up to about 5,000 square foot and pray I can get $400 a square foot for it after I do it. So there's that. That deal right there, that's where that deal's at. Deal report on this.
Tommy, did you say that the market is supporting those prices?
The market
in that
supporting
area?
prices under $1 million. But you gotta spend like, let me jump back to it real quick.
Even with those add-ons and the additional investment of capital, would it be difficult to try and get that type of price out of it with the others being priced below it, below $1 million?
Where did it go? Now that's got something there. There it is. So inside of this one, the asking price on this deal was $669. And
Yeah.
so when I went and looked at the comps that it provided and it showed like that the current economics showed that the low ARV was 1.1, but there was a couple of them around there that were under that. Like this one was the one, this one is I believe this is the actual property or something close to it. Is this the actual property?
Oh.
Hold on.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Control scroll. Yeah, that's the actual property. So even on this one, this is where it was listed at. As far as being on Zillow, they had it at 851. So, and that was as a listed price. Get rid of it right there.
Hmm.
Pull up these here. This is one that was down the road. And this one is at 1.3, sold this month for 1.3. It's got it's got the Adobe structure to it, but the building itself is about the right size, 3,400. It's got a 16 car garage.
Jeez.
So that's a okay, so that's a feature that's not comparable, right? Like look at this garage.
Right.
Are we kidding here? Like
Somebody has
car
is a
fetish,
hobbyist.
massive car fetish.
My son
So
would love this.
I want to see the size of this 16 car garage, but the interiors on this one look totally different than that other one. That other one's still a 2007, right? So you got to
Yeah.
get it up to this status somehow, right? So fireplace,
Hmm.
in the shower, like everybody wants a fireplace in the shower. I would turn this into a whole wet room. I'd eliminate this double. I'd put that soaker tub shower over there by the fireplace, bring that freaking wall across, knock all that down, make it just all glass wall and a soaker steam room. Somebody like guitars. All right, come on, show me the big garage building. I like the pool. Pool looks cool. I'm not seeing a 16 car garage yet.
Yeah,
That's
that's nice.
big casita garage.
That's beautiful.
This is the upstairs of the casita. That's pretty nice. So this is what 1.3 is gonna get you. That's not a 16 car garage. I don't care. Maybe 16 little itty bitty cars,
Right,
maybe.
yeah.
Mini Coopers,
Hot Wheels.
Hot Wheels for sure. But this one is on a dirt road.
Hmm.
Right? So this one is a dirt road deal. And again, paving them is not that hard. So, yeah.
There's a lot of development around there on dirt roads.
Yeah,
though.
this area does. It's coming this way. This is called the Rio Verde area, and Rio Verde is becoming very popular.
I mean, it does look like there's a paved highway that leads into the development, but amongst all the homes to
There
get to
may
them.
very well be. But yeah, it
Yeah.
shows the comp prices as being like the comps in that area for 2026 are all 300 plus. So,
Okay.
and those are for, 400. You got that one at 400. You got this one down here. at 1.3. That one's more of a $400 square foot price. So that Desert Trail Vista, let's see what this one looks like. Sold for 1.2 at the beginning of the year, 1.25. It's on a little bit more of a, here, I'll show you this map real quick. Inside of this map, Tina, they've got so they'll it doesn't really determine where your hard top roads are until you turn on the map. And you can kind of see how these used to look. Rio Verde is the main road coming into this area. And so you can see there's areas where it's completely not developed at all. An entire lot, not touched. Roads just ran through where they did a little bit of subdividing and then it never went anywhere. But most of them were equestrian, like, again, back in the day, they were just these big squares with equestrian farms on them. And that's what most of them out here are. Some of them have subdivided down even more, you know. But like this one here, this one's just around the corner from where we were looking at that one. Because Windstone's right here. And so this one down here, 1.25, it's still on that dirt road, off of a dirt road. So dirt road to a dirt road, but there's where the pavement ends, right there. So you're only traveling that far to get to this one, and that was the one that was for 1.2. And so paying $650 for this, $675 makes sense because if you can get it for that sale price of 1.2 to 1.3, the approximate net profits right here, and what it's assuming is that you're going to do about a $250,000 renovation on it, right? So with $250,000 on the renovation, you can do kitchen, bathroom, maybe, you know. So, and then at that point, your ROI on it's going to be 10 to 20. So, but getting that price down more, down to like, you know, a max purchase price of 633, you know, helps out a lot. Getting it down to 561 makes it even better. Spend 275 on a rehab. So that would be the ideal. Because again, all we're trying to net is at least 100,000. It's going to take 6 months or better to do the work. So you got to net at least 100,000. And then if you're doing this with an investor, you're going to need to split that. That's going to cost money, you know? So getting the price down is important. That's why we give you the funding strategies, put the stress tests in front of you, give you the options, put the red flags, how to negotiate for that leverage, you know, opening offer at 585, you know, how do you do that? So finding out details about the property, also like saying, hey, we just found one down the road for under $1 million, way better condition. Like, how can we negotiate to that level? Because to sell it for this, at this level, you got to do these things. That bathroom's got to have that soaker tub. It's got to have a full-blown kitchen. It's got to have a big ass garage, none of which exists on that place. And they don't even have a pool. Like the subject house we're looking at doesn't even have a swimming pool. So, and this is Arizona.
Is it even legal to build a property in Arizona
Shouldn't be.
without a pool?
It shouldn't be. Like that's a no-brainer. So what do you think, Ashley?
So I'm curious, does it, in a deal like this, would it ever make sense to try and do like a seller financing
Yeah,
until?
100%. Like
Okay,
that's why I said finding out the deal on this one, finding out right now it's being held with a wholesaler's holding this right now. He's got it under contract. So and he's offering it at 670. So it means that he's probably got it under contract for maybe 650 or 640. He could probably have it under contract for less than 600, depending on who he's buying it from. If he's buying this out of probate, then this property could go for way less than that. This tells me whoever worked there whoever lived there worked there. And so they obviously are selling that, and based on the pictures, it doesn't look like, some of them are like questionable in the sense that, like, this looks like it's a part-time living space. Like, they just have a couple pictures hung up and then there's a bunch of them sitting on the ground. So did they stage that room for that? Like, looks kind of weird. That's the master. Where that picture was taken was the master. So in here, like, there's no like legal couch, recliner, love seat. So that makes no
I
sense.
think I saw that it sold in 2020 for like
589 right there.
yeah, so they're super like like they're almost upside down.
Probably if they bought it for that, if it sold for
Mhm.
that, depending on how they did it and how they structured it. But we can
Mhm.
go do this. I like doing this right here. Copy it. And in 2020, it'll be interesting to find out what part of 2020 they bought it in.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So let's see. Let's
They're
go
like,
back.
we're getting out of the city.
Exactly. Control V. Let's do this. Deep dive. Deep dive who purchased this and what is the public record show? And so it'll go pull public record. While it's cooking on that, I need to bring up, I had a call yesterday with a client who's like, hey, it's actually a contractor buddy of mine. He's like, hey, I'm retiring, and I wanna find some property to go retire on. And I was like, okay. Um, where you looking? He's like, I wanna be in the pine trees. And I said, okay. So we got on yesterday and I did a little dive in with him on it. And we looked at Arizona pine forest land. Come on. And so what it actually came up with was pretty amazing. Um, in that, let's see, let's show it. There we go. Cool. Um, come on. There we go. So he wanted to find properties up in the pine trees north of Phoenix area. And so I told it to go find me like something above 4,500 foot elevation where there's mature tall pine trees. Buildable residential potential, access is required and vacant. It could be a vacant land or improved land. And here's what it brought me. It brought me 10 possibilities. So taking a look at these, um, it's providing, now I've got 10 options with these. So like this is definitely up in the pine trees, right? 1.25 acres right there. And based on the pictures, what we're looking at, it's got the electric box right there. If you see right there, there's the electric and the telephone. It's a dirt road, you know. People looking in this area don't mind the dirt road. They understand that. They like that. They want that. They want to build inside of that underneath them trees somewhere. Looks like it's pretty rocky ground, so it's gonna have to be a small house. But you know, the cool thing is it gave them 10 options. And he didn't have to go anywhere or go to multiple sites to find it. He did it right, right here with Deal Hunter. It pulled most of them from this website called Land Search, which seemed to pull back some of the best results. So this one here showing like in the Prescott area, shows on the side of the hill right here. So something that's going to be common when looking at property is going to be like, what is the condition of the dirt? Probably going to get to this dirt from this road down here, not necessarily from this road up here. So access being important, you got to take those things into consideration. Anybody impressed with this? Here's a well. Residential land got a well. This is in Prescott. It's underneath the pines. You can see the box they laid out. Got a lot of pine trees on it. This one's interesting. Over here, this is mining right here. The way this is all shaped right here. This was what they called water mining. They used to they would blast the side of the mountain with water, and then they would take all the tillings, which is this stuff down here, and run it through a mill. Yep, that's a water mining right there. The erosion is definitely a situation right there on this property.
What part of Arizona was that, Tommy?
This is in Prescott.
Okay.
So you got a house right there, the road right there. There's people out there. There's people that live there. 2.1 acres. So, let's see one more here. This one's in a place called Happy Jack. And so this one, 15 acres, which this is more my speed. I'll buy something with 15 acres and split it into 3 5-acre lots, sell 2, keep 1, and make my money back. That's how my brain works. So some people appreciate it, some people don't. So right here shows that it's got the 15 acres bordering the Coconino National Forest, which is pretty amazing land if you've ever been up there. So, but again, these are the criteria that my buddy wanted. I don't know if that's on the property. I don't think that's actually on the property. I'm not seeing like there's a heck of a drive to get back there to it, it looks like. So, and it's on what's called the Forest Service Road. Those are pretty bumpy roads. You want to take a truck on them. You don't want to take a Camaro or a Civic. Don't be driving your Civic out looking at dirt. So, here's one in Heber. And so this again is the Pines. Looks like it's on a hill. Got to be mindful of that because hillside development, slope development requires a special amount of engineering. So a little campground right there. It's only been on the market for 27 days. It's 5 acres. But it's a doable position. It's got some ponderosa pine, junipers, and pinyon pine on it. So all these are cool spots. So hopefully you'll pick one and feel like, hey, let's go check this out. Back over to that Scottsdale deal we were looking at though. Oh, we're 10 minutes past. I'll wrap it up real quick then. On the public record side, what we were able to identify, there was no reliable public record indexed source exposing the purchaser's actual name. So, shows that it was listed and stuff like that. We could probably, if I wanted to get really fancy about digging it up, I'd go over to the recorder's office and just search that APN number, and it'll come back with if there was a mortgage on it or not. Come on. I don't know. There we go. All right. Well, we'll let that cook and then get busy on it later on. And then tomorrow, if anybody's got anything they want to bring forward, by all means, show up, bring your properties. Let's look at them and talk about them. If you want to make deals and get deals put together, let's book a call afterwards and talk about it. The deal room is going to be asking for people to become sponsors too. So if you know anybody who's wanting to get some good exposure, we've got a media package put together now. We're showing anywhere between 20 and 25,000 people a week are watching and tuning into what we're doing. So if you want to get if you know somebody that wants to get part of that sponsorship activity, let us know. And we can try to put some stuff together with people. Shows here that this property on the public record mortgage shows that the original loan amount was 290, so they're not upside down. The buyer basically put down $300,000 before they purchased it. So not a lot of equity left in the property. What it does say is that we might be able to do a sub 2 on it or something like that. And keep that capture that loan if it's worth it. But we'd want to find out how much how much they got on the so on that interest side and stuff like that. So if the interest is too high, it would probably not be worth it. But there you go, Ashley, get to work, go find that deal.
Okay.
Call them up, tell them, let's do let's offer them 575, see what happens.
This one that you just ran?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll ask him.
So, but all right, well, I'm gonna jump off. Everybody else go have a wonderful day. And we'll see everybody back in here tomorrow.
Okay.
All right.
See you guys
You all
tomorrow.
be
Have a
good.
great day.
I'll wrap it up with a prayer. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the blessing of this day, the blessing of this life, and we ask that you continue to bless and guide us. In your name we pray. Amen.